Hey guys, it's Jen with Two Ends. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do color blocking with chunky glitter. So as you can see, I've already done all of my hand except for just one. So I just wanted to throw my peel base there. So we do start, if you've been here before, you know I start all of my manicures with peel base. I use UNT or UNT. I don't know how to pronounce it. Someday I will ask and then I will know how to pronounce it. But until then, we're just going to call it my peel base. So put a layer of peel base. You will have to play around with it, find out what works for you. I had done 2 really thick coats in the past. I've tried one really thin coat. What I find works best for me now is just one thick-ish coat. But I do change my manicure out every 1 to 4 days, and that works perfectly for me. If you're looking for longevity, maybe skip the peel base. So for today's manicure, I'm using Keeper of the Grounds from Rocky Mountain Dip Powder and from Double Dip Rich Oasis. This is a really pretty glitter green glitter, whatever you want to say. Really pretty. Both colors are beautiful. And then of course I am using clear powder from Double Dip. I am also going to be using Double Dip's liquids. So we'll start with their base. And they also, if you buy the kit from Double Dip, they actually come with everything that you need. So it comes with the base, the activator, and the top coat. It also comes with a brush cleaner, which if you are starting out, this is a lifesaver and a godsend. You will ruin your brushes. You will harden them. I promise you. But Double Dip comes with everything that you need. So while we wait for the peel base to dry, you don't want to start dipping until your peel base is dry. I wanted to show you what I use underneath. So I do use builder gel. I put builder gel on top of my natural nail, and then you do need a UV light to cure it, but it helps to protect your nail. It also makes your nails stronger so that they don't break. I like to put it underneath my dip in case I lose a nail, because I lose the color. My nails are still really strong and they won't break. So if you can see there that my nails are really shiny, I just did a layer of builder gel over my nails. So those are my natural nails, but you can actually extend your nails also with builder gel. It's pretty cool. Someday I'll do a video on it, but I just wanted to share with you guys that is how I do my nail prep now. I used to do clear powder, but I have made the switch a few months ago. So the one bad thing about the builder gel is you cannot tell when your peel base is dry because it's always shiny. Also, I want to apologize to you guys in advance. I realize the lighting in this video is not great. I had the positioning for my ring light in a really bad spot. So lesson learned. Next video, I will make sure to put it back where I usually put it. So to get started, make sure that you stir your dip powders. Always stir them before you use them, and especially with the chunky ones. If you notice, I'm patting it. By doing that, I'm just bringing up the glitter chunks to the top. So stir your powder and then tap it to bring the chunks back up. And then it's a good idea to be prepared with all of your colors, especially when you're doing color blocking, because when you color block, you have to move quickly because your liquid will dry if you move too slow, obviously. It's common sense. Another thing really quick, going back to the double dip kits, if you get a kit, it also comes with 6 different colors. So it doesn't just come with a liquid, it comes with the liquids plus everything that you would need, your file, a buffing block, replacement brushes, and then 6 colors. So it really is a great bang for your buck, I guess. It's a good starting kit. There will be a discount link in the description box below. You can save $10 on your first order. So if you are interested, grab that link because saving $10 is a pretty big deal, I think. Alrighty, so now we're going to get started. Once your peel base is dry, start with a very thin layer of base coat. The thinner the better. Of course, if you've watched my videos before, you know why. If you've watched anybody else's videos before, you know why. If you've dipped before, you know why. But the thinner the better, because the powder, the liquid will absorb the powder. So if your liquid is too thick, it won't absorb that powder and it's going to be very chunky and your application and the end result isn't going to be as good as it could be if you would have just used a thinner base. So once you have your entire nail covered with base, then you want to start with your first color. Start with the color that you want on your tip first and just dip whatever part you want in there. So I wanted it to be at an angle, so I dipped my finger into an angle, or as an angle I should say, and just stopped about halfway down my finger. Pat the powder to try to get the extra chunks off, and then just proceed right into dipping into the second color. Because you already have powder over the first part of your nail where the liquid was, that part is protected, so the second color won't actually get on your nail. And then make sure that you take a toothpick or an orange wood stick and clean up your cuticle, the edges of your cuticles, to get any extra product that may have gotten on your skin. This part is very important. If you want clean cuticle lines, clean up your cuticles. And then pat your finger to get any remaining powder off. The next step is also a very important step. Use a plastic bag or something and pat your finger to try to get those chunky glitters to lay flat. This is going to help you have a better result in the end also, because then those chunky glitters aren't sticking up, and you don't have as, when you could have a glitter sticking up here and there, and then you just have chunky nails. So very important part of the process is the cleanup and patting down and making sure that those glitter chunks are where you want them to be. Not sure if you noticed or not, but I did do the placing method. I didn't dip my finger. I actually just placed it on top of the powder and then kind of rolled it around to make sure I got full coverage. So I think that part is important if you are doing color blocking, because if you dip your finger, then you can actually push the other color that you had further onto your nail, and then it's not as crisp of a line as you may have wanted. So after you are done cleaning up your cuticles, take your plastic bag again and just do a second pat down. Just really make sure everything is on there and lays as smooth as you can get it. If you use your finger, that's fine. You're just going to have glue on your finger, so I don't recommend it. For the second layer, we do the exact same thing. I am going to just let you watch this time instead of talking through it. That way you can maybe just watch it instead of having my voice in your ear. And there we are for the layer 2. You can do as many layers as you want. The more layers you do, obviously, the thicker your nails are going to get. I typically do 2 layers, and then I do a layer of clear over whatever it is. You always want to do a layer of clear if you have done glitter. It will protect your design and protect your nails when you're buffing it and filing. So, but I did 2 layers and then a layer of clear. That's usually my magic number for me. Take your toothpick and clean up any of those glitter pieces that are loose or that aren't in where you want them to be, kind of like I'm doing here. And then the next step is to protect it with clear powder. So clear powder is just like regular dip. It is a little bit stronger though. It does help to protect your nail. It's a good idea if you want to have smooth nails, if you're using glitter, to do a layer of clear, unless you're looking for the texture look, in which case go ahead and skip the clear. Sometimes you will get some glitter pieces on your brush. That's okay. Just wipe it off and then carry on. But you do also want to try to make sure you get as thin of a base as possible as you can with the clear powder. It is a little bit harder to get thinner coats once you already have powder on your nail. I don't know why, but it seems like the brush just doesn't glide as smoothly or something. But you want to make sure you protect the whole nail. It's just going to look much better when you go to shape it and file it if the whole nail is level and even, but it will take practice. Clear powder seems like it's an easy part of the process, but I have definitely messed this up. But I've also messed some things up that I have no idea how I messed up. So with the clear powder, I do also do the laying or the placing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I want to call it placing or the laying, whatever. I use that method instead of dipping. But sometimes I do the pour over method and sometimes I dip. It just depends. But if I am doing a glitter nail, also, let me back up here. I have 2 different sets of clear. I have a clear powder jar that I use only for when I'm dipping into glitters. And then I have a regular clear that I use when I am dipping with solids. I just don't want to contaminate both of my clears. And I will always, always, always get a stray glitter in my clear. So you probably will too. I do always like to have a clean working space, so this is my cupcake liner that I caught all of the extra glitters. I'm not going to save that because it's a mixture of both of them, and then some of it has the base and stuff. But any of the extra stuff that I had from the jars, I already poured those back into the jars and put them away. And now I'm just doing an extra real good brush on my nail, get all the extra dust and powder off. And now it's time for the activator. The activator is one of my favorite steps because now we can really actually see what the color looks like. When you're first starting to dip, you just can't really tell the color of the powder until the activator. So this is one of my favorite parts. Ah, there it is. So beautiful. These beautiful bright greens. I initially did this for St. Patrick's Day, but you can certainly use it all year round. The next step is to shape and file our nails. This part can be a little bit boring for some people, and so if you don't really want to watch the video, I don't blame you. Go ahead and fast forward. It's not that long. It's just a few minutes of filing, but if you wonder how I file my nails, I will just let it play. That way you can watch me do it. One important thing, actually I'm going to mention a few important things. Always make sure that you get your free edge and then around your cuticle. It's very easy to forget your cuticle and then you end up having like chunky, thick, blocked cuticles. If you take your file and you kind of round it around at an angle to help soften the cuticle edge, you're gonna have a good experience. Maybe not a good experience, but you should get some good results. And then you want to file underneath your nail, under and up instead of sideways. It just helps to make the nail look more thin instead of wide, if that makes sense. So I'll stop talking and I will just let you watch, and I will see you here shortly. Okay, so once you're happy with the shape of your nails and your cuticles, then it is time to buff them. Buffing them helps to get any of the imperfections gone and helps to smooth the surface and just make it look and feel much better. If you didn't, it's kind of like it's the icing on the cake. I mean, really that's what the top coat is, but without the buffing, the icing on the cake, it's not going to be as smooth, I guess. It still will, but you want to buff your nails, is my point. But you don't have to buff forever long. Really, just buff each nail for maybe 5 to 15 seconds, and then make sure you get your free edge and underneath. And then it's time to wash your hands. I already washed my hands, obviously, since you can tell that there is no dust anywhere. Wash your hands, and then it's time for the second round of activator. The second round of activator is a very important step. If you don't use this, your top coat will not dry properly, so don't forget this step. I have spent so much time on all of my videos about the importance of the science behind dipping and how the top coat needs the activator, but the activator will ruin the top coat, and this video is no different. I will still spend time talking about it because it is that important. You want to wait for 2 minutes after you put your second round of activator on, at least 2 minutes. If there is any activator left, you will harden your brush. So wait for the 2 minutes. Once that 2 minutes is up, I always like to take some alcohol and a lint-free wipe. I got this from Amazon. It was very, very cheap. I got a package of like 1,000 of them. And then just go over your fingers once with the alcohol to try to get any remaining activator off of your nails. Like I said, you need the activator to dry your top coat, so don't even try to think about skipping this step. It won't work. I did, if you notice there, I'm fanning my nail. I'm trying to dry it off because the other day, actually, just recently, I did not wait long enough and my alcohol was still wet and my top coat, I had to redo it because it did not dry properly. So it got all dry and flaky, actually, is what happened. So once your alcohol is dry and your nails are ready for the top coat, make sure that you have a clean paper towel or napkin close by because you will need to wipe your brush in between every single dip and put your first layer of top coat on. You want to put the first layer on pretty quickly. You really only want about 3 wipes. 3 wipes, wipe your brush on the napkin, and then put it back in the bottle. Very important that you wipe your brush on the napkin because if you don't, you may contaminate your bottle with any activator that is left over. So you can't tell yet, but I'm trying to show you what the top coat looks like. When it is ready for your second coat, it looks like it is shrinking, like shrink wrap. I'm sure you all remember what shrink wrap looks like. Typically, a good general rule of thumb, if you're doing your entire hand, by the time you get to the last finger, maybe wait for another 10 or 20 seconds, and then you'll be ready for the second coat. Also, when you wipe your brush on the paper towel or on the napkin, make sure that you wipe it in a different spot. Don't wipe it in the same spot that you just wiped it in. I will promise you, I know it sounds stupid and like not real, but it is real. You can contaminate your bottle that way. Once you have determined that it looks like there is shrink wrap on your nail, then you can move on to your second coat. The second coat, you can take your time and you can be more precise and be more perfect. Make sure that you get the entire nail, cover it up perfectly, go slowly, be more detailed. This is when it matters because this is what's going to show up when it dries. And one of the most important steps that a lot of people forget when they're doing the top coat is to cap the free edge. It's very important that you cap the free edge because it seals it in and it protects it from the moisture getting in. If moisture gets in, then you can get lifting. So seal your free edge, wipe it off of your skin if you get any on your skin, and that is it for our top coats. Our beautiful green manicure for St. Patrick's Day or for any time of the year. But we're not done yet. We are almost done. As a side note also, if you don't like any of the colors that I choose for my tutorials, and choose your own colors, you can still apply the methods and it would look beautiful. And last but not least, it is time to show our cuticles some love. I am using Candi Skin Care. I love Candi's cuticle oil. My absolute favorite is cotton candy. I don't know if you read that or not, but this one is actually orange scented. My cotton candy is empty and I have not refilled my cuticle pen yet. So I am using the orange scented cuticle oil, but you want to show your cuticles some love. Show your cuticles so much love that your cuticles get mad at you because of how much you're loving them. I know that's weird. My point is, put a lot of cuticle oil on your cuticles. You file them, you don't take care of them, you beat them up. We're dipping them into powder, we're putting product all over them. Put some cuticle oil on those bad boys and take care of them, because a healthy cuticle is a healthy nail, and a healthy nail is a beautiful nail. Once you are finished rubbing in the cuticle oil around your cuticles and your fingertips, I usually put too much on, so I end up using it as lotion anyway. So go ahead and feel free to do that. Cuticle oil is good for all of your skin. So make sure that you rub that in, and there it is, our beautiful green manicure. I love how this turned out. I think the color blocking is perfect. I think these two colors together are perfect. I think it is very subtle, but also very obvious. So it's totally an oxymoron, but I love it. I think it turned out great. I hope you guys love it too. And don't forget to grab your discount links down below, $10 off of Double Dip. There's also one for Candi's cuticle oil and Rocky Mountain dip powder. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.